So, when last we left our heroes, they were in the city of Waterdeep, the city of Splendor, and they had helped their friend, their young friend, now slightly older friend Mara, rescue her male companion, Floon Blagmar. They'd gone and rescued Raynar Neverember from some sort of warehouse, some sort of gang warehouse, where he and Floon had been captured, yet Floon had been taken to sort of the underground gang area, because the gang thought he was Raynar. It was sort of a mixed identity kind of thing. But they were able to get Floon out. They fought what did you guys fight? You fought some gang members. You kind of got mind blasted by a mind flayer.
Yeah, that's who was a dick. He escaped, didn't he?
Yes. And
so did we.
Yeah.
Unnecessarily.
There's a lot of teleporting out. I think Barnaby or Aperby didn't get to finish off the what is it, the Durgar that he was fighting, which was, I think, a little bit upsetting for Barnaby.
Very upsetting for him.
He did finish off quite a few people, though. It wasn't like...
Yeah, Aperby got some work done.
Yeah, but he left unsatisfied. He had to go home and jerk off in the toilet, basically. You know, like he was not a satisfied ape.
Giant ape blue balls.
Oof. That's rough.
Yeah.
And then instead of paying you, Mara had bought a rundown manor house that used to be had once upon a time been a pub, and then once upon a time been an orphanage, and it was kind of creepy and run down. And upon stepping inside it, the doors locked and it was haunted. Actually, I'll back up a little bit. A small child wearing a little jaunty hat turned up and delivered a letter to Han, asking if he was Han Cassalanter. And then the Han, upon sort of accepting this delivery, read the note, burst into flames, and disappeared. So I think we established that the Barnaby and Heimdal did everything within their power to totally try and get him back.
Yep.
Failing that, at great cost to themselves, decided to enter into the inn, or into the rundown tavern, and kind of take stock of things. And that's when I think the stairs started bleeding. There was creepy children in the basement, and they fought and killed a hag and her toad demon minion. This demon minion, in fact, turned out to be Hjarbinger Sprig, who had been cursed by the hag to that form. And when last we left our heroes, they'd come out into the open. They'd sold off the hag's body to a local alchemist, and have been sort of hanging out the last couple of days in Waterdeep. But what has sort of Barnaby, Heimdal, and Hjarbinger been doing over the last couple of days as they sort of wait for Mara to get in contact with them?
Resting. Really just having a good rest. Solid
good point.
Rest is what Barnaby's been doing. I reckon everyone's been doing it. And once Barnaby felt thoroughly well rested and re-energized, he then started to do some really scope out the hotel that they have, the manor. Start to clean. Was there a cleaning montage that we did? I feel like we did a cleaning montage at the end of the last one, maybe.
Yeah, I think there was a bit of a cleaning montage.
Yeah.
I don't have an updated map for you just yet because I'm lazy, and the updated map I have has furniture, which you have not bought. But there was definitely a cleaning montage. I think there was stripping out the cobwebs. At one point, there's sort of a comical scene backed by Disney music, or by pop music, where Heimdal is trying to unclog one of the toilets, and a black pudding comes out and attacks him, sort of like a gelatinous ooze with life that tries to sort of use acid to eat away at him. And perhaps Sprig comes and helps him flush it down, and then they both sit around laughing.
Bonding moments.
Bonding moments, exactly.
Yep.
It's like you're old friends now.
Yeah.
I
feel like I've known you my whole life.
What are some other fun cleaning montages, Steve?
Well, so I guess I'm still dubious about the chick who I've never met before this whole...
Can we have one
Mara?
session with no one being suspicious?
I'm a pretty suspicious guy, all right? And I believe you have like sexual relations with this Mara chick, so...
Oh, she's like a daughter to me, man.
As in something from your penis, but like...
No, she is an adopted daughter. It is completely platonic. It's more of a father-daughter relationship than... She's the one female in the whole of the D&D world who is off limits to Barnaby.
Okay, well, I am still suspicious of her, and I throw that shit out there all the time.
Yeah. She acts quite nonplussed, and I imagine this is...
she's back?
She's there helping you clean the place.
Yeah, but still sus.
There's probably some moments where she's in the alleyway meeting with someone. You know, it looks like
I'm looking through a window.
Yeah, you're looking through a window. You can only kind of just make out who she's meeting with, and there's a lot of those moments. But then when you confront her on it, you know, it turns out she was getting cleaning supplies delivered or something. And there's
I sniff those cleaning supplies.
Jeez. Okay, Heimdall's not taking a dark path.
Just to make sure they're cleaning supplies, right?
They are cleaning supplies, yeah. Cobweb be gone. A bit of that kitty. That's that kitty spray to clean surfaces.
Well, that's actually pretty good stuff. So you get your one up on the respect.
Yeah.
Rank.
Paul, what's a cleaning montage with Barnaby?
Barnaby is exhausted from having done, some decent manual labor cleaning. He sits down and goes to grab a drink, and it turns out to be one of these cleaning supplies. And he does the comical spit gag. Potentially he loses vision for 30 minutes or so, and is quite dramatic about it.
And there's even a moment where like there is a normal beverage there, but Barnaby's so tired that he can't. He's not really looking, and when he goes to reach it, you actually see that as if moved on its own, the sort of jug of cleaning supplies is moved into his hand instead, and he drinks it.
Classic Barnaby.
Harbinger's sitting, in the corner, sort of assessing his new environment, and he just watching everyone clean. He can't stop hearing the start of a musical about cleaning, and it's just that first, lyricless line. It's like dun, 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 and just nope, not again. Not again, and he'll regain his composure, and then no. So he's starting to pace and get frustrated with the songs that are in his head about cleaning.
Brilliant. So there's sort of a solid couple of days of cleaning, and you're all thoroughly sort of worked to the bone over the course of the next few days. the locals in the area come and say hi and kind of. I believe you met Fala last session from the Guild of Apothecaries. Falas, as you started cleaning, you were bringing down parts of the hag in buckets, and Fala would sort of wrap them up and take them away for you with sort of a wink and a nod, and they would take them to their area just nearby. In fact, if we have a look
Did
at
we
the
ever
whole...
strike a deal with Fala for what we would get in return?
I think there was discussion about. I think they were not certain on what they could give you specifically, but that if they could make anything out of it, they would certainly help you. They also delivered a bunch of potions, I believe.
I feel like they might have. I feel as though that's something they did. And
Are you the Horde Master? Are you the...
I am. Yes, they did deliver a bunch of things. So they gave us a potion of greater healing, a potion of climbing, and a potion of water breathing. So we now have 3 potions of greater healing and the aforementioned potions.
Cool. You also get a visit from... Oh, I'm getting a little bit of feedback there. There's a gentleman, half-elf carpenter, who sort of comes by and sees that you're cleaning out a bunch of the old stuff and offers to sell you or at least consider him if you're needing to buy more furniture like tables, chairs, beds, etc. And he introduces himself as Tally Fellbranch. He's the chief artisan over at the Bent Nail, which is a place just nearby, over to the east, just sort of in the back of the alleyway there. And he also does sort of arrows, engravings. He's also got simple instruments. He's got a recorder style, like a wooden recorder, or like flutes. A couple of stringed instruments similar to guitars, things like that. And he even has a panpipe similar to sort of like a bird pipe. So he's got a lot of woodwind instruments.
Cool.
I'm getting some background noise from someone. Is it? That's better.
No idea. Could be Steve driving down the street.
It was me. I was trying to get my phone connected. Didn't work.
That's all good, dude.
So you're just going to have to picture my pretty face in your dreams.
That's all right. We got the beautiful Heimdal. Picture of Heimdal. Oh, I'm feeling those kisses. So nice.
Trying to make it all the way over to you, mate.
That's it. Well, that's not too far. Oh, yeah, it took a little while, but I got it. So yeah, you do over the next couple of days, you do get a bit of a rest. The place is starting to look empty and becoming sort of a space that you can imagine things in, though it is obviously quite bare and without inventory currently.
You're right. Do we want to deck this out? I mean, how long are we going to be here?
That's a very good question.
I asked Mara.
Let's just basically, let's make it safe. So let's make sure the lock on the door is working and that we have the key to that lock. Let's make sure the windows are closed, and if they're broken, then board them up so that we're not getting drafts through the place. It's watertight. Once we're happy with that, we can come back and make it schmick. But at least we've got somewhere to have a.
I think that's what we've done in the cleaning montage.
Yeah.
I would say. But how so Mara, how long do you envisage us remaining in this current time, given that we have a time machine?
Well, I mean, we're here to steal something, And Uncle Barnaby, I know it's something that's very dear to your heart. In this vault that I'm looking for, I believe that inside it is the Rod of Ruin.
Right. Okay. To prevent a time paradox, we need to send that on and find that.
Yeah, so I think from chatting with Grainer, his father sort of extorted a bunch of money and goods from people in the surrounding towns and cities, as a, hey, if you help me, if you give us this money, we'll be able to sort of pay off the orcs that are coming and rampaging, and are going to be taking over the area, because they look like they want to be summoning Tiamat or something. And the thing is, the orcs were driven back, so he didn't have to spend that money and those items. And I think the King of the Moon, the Baron of the Moonstair, Dan has forgotten his name, but I don't think Mara would have. Paul, help me out here. There's Viola Tharund.
Yeah, it was the Baron of Tharun. Yeah.
So, rumor has it that you left behind one of the most powerful magical artifacts on your prison escape from Tharund. And rather than hold on to it, the Baron gave it to the Open Lord of Waterdeep, as sort of payment to help fight off the orc invasion.
Okay. So we're in the future. I'm just getting. Yeah, we're not in the past, are we? Being in the past, we've done shit in the past, but currently we're in the future. But we're not in the distant future where Tarnaby has an army of kegs. We're kind of in the middle between our present and that dystopian future. We're smack bang in the middle.
Yeah. So you went into... Actually, I have a timeline here. I have some notes on this timeline.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Look, and it's a bit loosey-goosey, as all good timelines are in a thing. So where is it? So you guys went into the Pyramid of Shadows. So you got arrested in Tharund, broken out of Tharund prison, went into the Pyramid of Shadows, and you had been disappeared for at least, I think it's been at least 10 years since you've been into the Pyramid of Shadows. Probably about 3-4 years ago, the orcs attempted to invade the Elsia Vale and were driven back.
Okay. So there exists a time then in this universe where there are two rods of ruin, one that's with Baron and one that's in possession of Barnaby before he goes into the Pyramid of Shadows.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Heist? Anyone? Heist to get two rod of ruins? Rods of ruin?
Yeah.
I don't know what's grammatically correct there. Yeah.
So there's the one that Barnaby took into the Pyramid of Shadows, and then there's the one that I guess is in this vault that needs to be requisitioned so that you can potentially give it to Barnaby so he can take it into the Pyramid of Shadows.
Yeah. Cool.
That sounds like the most logical, timeline strategy.
And Mara says, and what I'm looking for in there is a staff that will help me in my studies to be a chronomancer. And so I'll be able to send you back to deliver that rod and try and fix some of the problems that, maybe we created. I'm going to say mostly you created, but maybe we created. I'm not really sure.
So when you say
Hold
staff,
on.
are you talking about a stick, or are you talking about like 3 awesome dudes who are your staff?
She says, no, it's like a magical staff. It's a
Stick.
magical rod. It's a
a
long
stick.
magical stick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, you need a stick. Okay, cool.
All right.
So
So
hold on. If timey wimey stuff, it's getting to me. So we're in the future after the Pyramid of Shadows, and the rod exists at the moment. But the rod came part of Barnaby, turning him into Rowan, and was destroyed or disappeared after at that time, wasn't it?
yes,
Sorry.
but the original one. So the one that turned Barnaby into Ronan.
Yeah.
The one that turned Barnaby into Ronan is the one that we need to steal, go back in time, and somehow give to Barnaby so that it can be destroyed in the pyramid, so that then we can proceed out of the pyramid and go steal it and then give it back to Barnaby.
It's like a
So
boomerang.
that he can become
Yeah.
Ronan.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It does. Yeah. Where did the rod go? Where did the rod go after the pyramid?
That's a good question.
Because if the Baron gave it to the Neverember other, or the Baron gave it away,
Mhm.
that must have happened.
Would that not
after-
mean that the Baron, maybe when it gets destroyed, it actually arrives in the Baron's hands?
No, because Barnaby left it behind when he
Mm.
was arrested.
So if the Baron's given it away,
And it's ended up in this vault
it's ended up in this vault in the future.
in Waterdeep. I mean, from the rod's point of view, it's the present.
So the Baron gave the rod away 10 years ago.
He gave it away
And-
maybe about 5 years ago. You went into the pyramid 10 years ago. He gave the rod away like 5 years ago.
So how did he get the rod back?
How did who get the rod back?
The Baron. How did the Baron get the rod back? He originally had it 10 years ago,
Yeah,
and we went
because
to the
he got it
pyramid.
from you.
Ugh.
So here's the timeline. Let's run
Okay.
through it again. Let's go right back, shall we? The fancy lads go into the keep under the Shadowfell, fight Calaral Vile, do all that nonsense. Then you go fight under Thunderspire Mountain, do all that kind of stuff. You have the Rod of Ruin with you all that time. At some stage, you go down for Viola's wedding.
Mm.
You get arrested, and then you get broken out of prison, but your allies don't take the rod. You leave the rod behind in Theyrund. That's how the Baron gets the rod.
Mhm.
From there, we follow Barnaby back to the city under the Pyramid of Shadows, and he receives a delivery of the Rod of Ruin, sealed with his own blood, and inside are two diamonds, enough for him to cast Resurrection twice.
Yes. So at that time, there are 2 rods in existence.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yes.
That makes sense to me then. So the Baron holds onto his rod,
Yeah.
whilst
And
Barnaby has another one that goes into the pyramid and gets destroyed.
Correct.
Okay,
And so
cool,
someone
cool.
has to get that rod to give to Barnaby, if that makes sense. And I think it's you, Barnaby.
Yep, beautiful. Whew. All right.
All right, we got that. All right,
I'm gonna
so Mara,
take 10 points of psychic damage,
Yeah.
and
So Mara, got any intel on where this safe is, or where it's hidden? How to get to it?
She says, "Look, I'll be honest with you. That's part of the reason I've been spending so much time with Floon, because he's friends with Neverember, with Raynar Neverember. Raynar, of course, is the son of the guy who put all that shit in the vault. So his dad, Dagult, Neverember, was the Open Lord of Waterdeep. He's currently in Neverwinter or some shit. They hate each other, but I figured Raynar claims he doesn't know where it is, but I reckon if anyone were to know or to be able to find out, it's probably him. So I've been spending
Call in a favor.
Well, I thought that if I can get close to him, maybe either he'll let his guard down or he'll remember something that he doesn't even know about where this vault is, or the item we need to kind of find it. But he says him and his dad aren't on speaking terms, so he's doing the whole emo teenager thing, running away from all his wealth and stuff.
So we've already tried this approach, like the direct approach of asking him if he knows anything, and he blatantly ignores the question. Like, he says no.
Okay.
So if Mara feels, sorry about talking about you, Mara, when you're in the presence, in the third person, but if Mara feels that she may be able to draw something else out of Reynard, then maybe we should just go get him or bring him over to our establishment and potentially liquor him up. Maybe even drug him.
That's a good idea. Let's party. Let's throw him a party.
Yep.
Yeah, shall we party? We haven't partied in a while. Hijinks?
Yeah.
Hijinks? Yeah, hijinks. Let's do it.
Well, she says, I think that's a great idea, and I think, well, that's part of the reason why I thought a home base like this would be useful, because I don't know how long it's going to take to find this info, whether he has it or someone else in the city must know. And maybe...
Ooh, okay.
I mean, he was kind of being kidnapped, right? So maybe we use him as bait?
But he wasn't being kidnapped. It was the guy that we went in. Oh, wait, it was him. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, it was Flume.
Yeah.
He got kidnapped.
No,
Flume got kidnapped because they thought this is meta.
They thought he was Raynar.
Oh.
And
they got away, so they're probably still after him.
If she has, so I'm just, because we're neighbours, she can hear me, obviously. It's like when Homer yells out to Millhouse, Father, do you have any truth potions?
You just yell out.
Did we not get one of them? Did we not have the bones or something? Oh, it was a yes or no, wasn't it?
Yep.
Okay, never mind.
Actually, it could be a good time to use the bones. Yeah, that's a really good idea, Steve.
We got that. It's like a once a day thing.
Yeah. What do you do, Bones? Bones.
These are the bones you bought from Fantasy Bunnies?
Phone. Oh no, they're phone a friend bones.
So they let you cast the spell Scry, I believe.
Which tells you the location?
Oh no, sorry, it's not Scry. It's I think you can ask it a question, and then it will you get sort of a yes no, like a wheel or woe kind of answer.
Okay, so
what do we want to ask? We've got to be real specific.
Yeah. Okay. So put the stone aside or the bones aside, so it doesn't just like automatically answer the question. But would it not be just succinct to say, can we get the information from Neverember?
Or do we want to ask, does Neverember have information he hasn't told us yet about? Although, that information could be, yes, his dad was wearing a black coat on the day.
Yeah, but about the smooth stone. Was it a smooth stone?
The Stone of Galore. Yep, so the Stone of the Galore to find 500 dragons buried in the city. Neverember's dad hit this, yeah.
It's not necessarily the 500 dragons, though, because Mara wants the stick.
Yeah,
magical stick.
Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff in there, but the main thing people talk about is the 500,000 dragons.
You muted after talk about
500,000 dragons.
Yeah, that's
500,000. Oh, geez, I had 500. That's a lot more.
the decimal
That's
place.
for the dragons.
It's my 3 eyes white dragon.
Let's try it. Yeah, I mean, if it was just 500 dragons, sort of like, why are we bothering?
It's more for the thrill of the chase.
500,000
the-
dragons.
Yeah, okay, that's a bit. Cool. All right. So, how do we succinctly ask a no bullshit question?
Okay.
Will
Yeah.
Neverember be able to tell us the location of stone? Does Neverember know the location of the stone, or have information that can lead us to it?
Too broad.
Too broad. Yep.
So it would have to be. So we need to trick him into.
You know what? Maybe just to start off with, it would be prudent to say, does Neverember know the location?
Yeah.
Because then we can try and angle towards
How
getting
many
him to
times
tell
can
us.
we? How many times can we use the stone?
I think it's once a day.
All right. And
Well,
if we've
look,
been,
look, if we get, maybe if we say, does Neverember know the
Approximate.
the location? Yeah, the approximate location of the safe or the rod, and then
the stone of galore.
the stone of galore,
Mm-hmm.
and we can go, and then if it's a yes, then we can probe
Yep,
him normally, not with magic, but just normally,
Yeah.
to see if he'll give it up. Otherwise, we know that he's not the right source.
Or, maybe the answer will be, if it's no, then we just wait until tomorrow and ask something along the lines of,
As you're having this conversation, a small paper bird
finds who?
flies up and kind of flaps around in front of you, just sort of.
Who's you, as in the fancy lads? Because that bird is a homing bird who comes to deliver a message to a particular person.
Yeah, so it sort of flaps around between you, between Barnaby and Heimdal.
All right. I snatch it. I know what that shit is.
Yeah. You unfold it, or it kind of unfolds from its crane-like origami into sort of a piece of paper, and written on it is this message.
Oh fuck, pen paper.
Raynar tells us you're a good bet. He bought you tickets to the opera tonight at the Lightsinger Theatre in the Sea Ward. If you are interested, meet Mert at intermission. Private box C. Formal attire is required for admittance.
Cool.
And enclosed are tickets. 3 tickets. To the Fall of Tiamat.
Right on. Looks like tonight we will officially be the fancy lads.
Yeah. This is going to be the most recluse opera you've ever seen.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to live vicariously through my D&D character to express all my pent-up social angst. So,
but you don't. That's literally what this is for, James.
Yeah.
What was the play called, Dan? The Fall of.
The Fall of Tiamat.
So
Let's go shopping. Shopping montage.
Yeah, sure.
Now, do you set up anything for the rebuilding of the refurnishing of the inn?
Oh yeah.
Do we want to get?
Because that's also going to cost money.
How much money we got?
We have all of 1,450 gold.
Is that a lot?
It's not a little amount, yeah.
It's a fair chunk of change.
What do we want to turn this place into? Is this going to
By the
be a nice wine, cheese and wine bar, or are we looking more at a dank inn? We're looking at a playhouse here, or are we talking more an Attica?
Okay, so I feel that with our limited buying capacity, we can probably afford to make this a little bit, what's the word? Hipster?
Yeah, you're spot on.
Go far with very little. Like so we're gonna have exposed brick
walls. Yeah.
We went the same place.
Yeah.
Exposed brick. All right. So I'm gonna So I'm like, well, what we'll do is we'll get some natural light in and
take down those wooden boards.
I'll using my my abilities and my connection with nature. I'm gonna start growing some small plants, indoor plants, to hang around the place. Gather some dirt that's been sitting in the corner, gather it into a small, half-broken, chipped bowl.
Can you make us like stools and table? Like, can you actually use your connection? Yeah, can you Groot us a bar?
The problem is, I can conjure I could probably conjure things, but it's only temporary.
Right, okay.
I could use
we could petrify whatever you conjure afterwards. It just might take a little bit of a ritual behind it.
I'm pretty good at burning things. I could burn.
I'm gonna yell out to Tally Fellbranch. Tally!
You don't even go walking up. It's sort of.
How much for some tables and chairs?
Tally comes out.
Milk crates,
She doesn't she keeps okay. Sorry, I was just reading up on some of the cool people. There's also I'll read out some of the other stuff. There is a sort of a forge that sort of a blacksmith called the Steam and Steel. There is a private detective business called Tiger's Eye. There is a small bookshop called the Bookworm's Treasure. Worm spelt with W-Y-R-M. And there is also another small bar that seems to have started up recently called Froon's Brews. But you yell out for Tally, and Tally Shinobu comes out. He's got that big sort of oiled leather apron on, and says, "Yes, lads, what can I help you with something?"
We want to cheaply furnish the bar.
And we describe the hipster aesthetic that we're going for.
Yeah, which is basically reused, recycled materials.
So Tally says, "Okay, well, yeah, it's quite the place. They're just going to sort of just renovate the ground floor and kind of make it sort of grunge. Go for that grunge look."
Probably want to get a couple of beds for ourselves as well, don't we?
Yep. In the back room.
He says, "Well, look, I know. I know. So I got some friends. Keith Everbuild. His son is on the up and up. Foreman Keith, and normally I think it'd probably take you a place like this, maybe about 1,000 gold and 2 weeks, 12 days to kind of renovate the place. But if you want to go sort of for a lower kind of clientele, a little bit cost saving, it may hit you in the sort of revenue and the kind of clientele you're going to get, but I reckon you could probably get away with half of that price."
Okay. Can we? Who's charismatic?
Paul's
charismatic.
It's literally my whole thing. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I was popped down to get some chips. What was the total price? I heard we could do it cheaper for
1,000 gold.
half, but what was the 1,000?
1,000 gold.
Nah.
How
No,
much
we
is
still gotta buy
how much is
skills.
one platinum? Out of curiosity, it's 10 gold pieces. All right.
I think it's 10, yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to, I turn to Barnaby and see if he can get a better price.
Yeah. All right, let's do this. Dear carpenter, your fine wares, no price is sufficient. For they are of godly quality, fit for kings and deities. We would be so humbled to even have but one piece, but one splinter of wood that you've crafted. Alas, our funds are insufficient to pay for what you ask. We would happily pay quarter of the cost, and we beg your kindness, your mercy, and your pity on us, sir.
And we offer a boon in return.
Oh yeah, and we'll give you like free shit once we're eventually up and running.
No, we should offer him child surprise. What is the?
Oh
what's the
yeah,
Russian thing?
I think it's just surprise.
It's just the lore of
Whatever
surprise.
greets us at our
The lore
home.
of
Yeah,
surprise.
whatever greets us at our home when we return.
He'll end up with the bloody rod of ruin. Okay, so you're buttering him up,
Trying
We go,
talking about how
Yeah.
his services aren't worth money; they're worth more. But you only have a small amount of money. Give me
worth our respect.
give me a persuasion check here.
Vision. Fuck off, combat tracker. I don't know how I clicked you. Persuasion. We're doing it.
It's 14 is the first roll. Looks like there's a few of them there.
And they were all under 10. What are the chances of 3 rolls under 10?
It's just not your day, mate.
I'd say about
It's that cleaning fluid you drank earlier. Your breath's just really messed up at the moment.
that being said, it's still all over
Damn.
because he's just that good.
Correct.
That was a good spiel I gave, though.
I
That
think
was.
so.
I liked it.
You were built for this.
He says, well, look, if you can maybe, if we can perhaps put something up above the bar, like an engraving or something with just sort of some branding on it so people know to come to the Bent Nail, that I put some of my work into this. Look, it's going to be real rustic. It's going to be real rustic. We're going to have to use some of maybe some of the cheaper woods. We could cut the cost down a little bit.
So could I if I use my thorn whip to create some nice wood pieces, or at least some decoration, and then I can use some spike growth, so I can grow some thorny spikes that could be used as, I don't know, construction materials to help cut costs.
He says that the spike grows sort of, so you're sort of talking about twisted vines with spikes on them, very like the thorn waste, Razorfen Crawl, Razorfen Downs for all, for the WoW fans. Are going to be good for making solid furniture. For the decorations, I think he says that could be a good idea.
We'll totally put your brand above the bar, in honor of, continuously spreading your...
For 12 months. Yeah, the first 12 months of operation.
Wow. And we'll let you carve your details onto every table so that it's on them permanently.
Yeah.
So this is basically your place. But we're going to get people to lick it up at the same time, which is like pretty cool.
He says, look, I could probably Like that does sound pretty good. I think I could take another 100 gold, 150 maybe, off that price. So you're looking at like 350 ish. Is probably as low as we can go.
Yep. Look, I think that's fine. Let me have a chat with my lads. Yep.
Yeah. That's a good looking elf.
Done.
So I'm
removed it from my inventory.
Okay.
All right.
So for the next 12 days, Tally gets to work on a bunch of furniture, calls in some friends to sort of help set it all up, and that begins to take place over the next couple of days.
Can we also support the other local communities and get some books put on? Because we're going for like hipster, right? So we want some used books. We want some like we want to go to the smith and get some scrap metal put into light shades, to cast some nice lighting, because lighting is really important.
Yeah. Do we want to have a gimmick? Like do we want to be a theme kind of bar?
Yeah. Yeah.
Books and steel.
Oh yeah.
And thorns.
Steel and books.
And thorns.
Steel and books isn't bad, actually. I like that. Steel and books and thorns.
Yeah, or is it like I'm feeling thorny?
Ooh.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right, well, now we've got the biggest decision of our night to make. Do we call the bar Feeling Thorny or Stealing Books?
Well, I feel like if we do make it Stealing Books, we're going to need a lot of books. Because those books are going to go out the door. Like...
really true.
Yeah.
All right. Feeling Thorny it is.
Do I make you thorny? Feeling thorny?
No, it's a bar. It's a bar, so it needs to be punchy.
Yeah, I like it. Feeling thorny. You're right. But what I really want to do, and we don't need to just, I'm not going to do it behind your back, is support the locals around us. With the steelworks, with the books, with really get
How about we offer our neighbour, the bookseller, to house some of her books in our bar, and if the sales go to her, but we decorate the place with books.
Yep. Yeah.
It's really clever.
Like an art gallery.
We'll only take like 10% of the cut as well, 10%, that's pretty good.
Sort of like when those cafes that you can buy art in.
Yeah, we're just doing that, monetizing everything. Yeah, I like that.
That's the gimmick.
Art gallery around?
Everything you see here is for sale, Like people come in and like, yeah, you can buy everything here.
That waitress? Yep. Yeah.
She doesn't know it, but she's available.
For the right price.
Yep. And because we got a steel, like, what's it called?
A blacksmith?
A blacksmith, that's one. He can spot weld some things just like around the corner, Some old useless things that he can just stick together.
We can put hang swords on the wall. How they occasionally have sword over the hearth or an axe over the hearth.
Anything that is old and used, we display in a interesting way.
He also wants to sell stuff,
Of course, yep.
So is that why the each table has the Bent Nails logo on it, and so people can just buy the tables and chairs?
Oh, should that work?
Yep, that's one of the reasons.
On your way out, it's like, I'm going to take this chair with me.
Well, yeah, if you buy it, you got to order it in advance, and we'll get another one made, and you can take that one. You just pay more than what we pay for the replacement, and we're never out of pocket. It's great.
Plus labor
But we take the money up front, because when people are leaving and they're drunk, they will just fucking throw it. They'll throw cash at it.
Yeah.
All right. I think we've made a way to monetize it. We've paid for it. So, Mr. Dungeon Master, do the surrounding blacksmith and bookshop agree to?
Well, are you going to go talk to them, or are you just going to ask me?
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say, just to speedy this up. Do we want to spend our time? Is it going to be a cutscene, or is it going to be a?
Well, I want to see. I want to see that this is the juice. I want to see how this conversation goes down, how you pitch this to these people, and also it gives me an excuse to describe them and tell you what's in their stores.
So, if I may take the lead here, lads, we go to the bookstore. We go to the bookstore, and I swagger on in, and I tilt my head left and right, looking at the books as as I slowly approach the front of the counter, and I look around and I sort of loudly, I talk to Barnaby, but excessively loud so that my voice at least projects to the other side of the room. And I said, it's a nice bookshop. It's a really nice bookshop full of really nice books. I love this place. It's just a shame that nobody hears about this beautiful bookshop and all its lovely books. If only there was a way. If only there was a way that places like this could get their merchandise beyond the extent of their front door.
Well, let me describe as you come up to this bookstore. The front of this bookstore is adorned with a charming sign of a gold dragon curled around a treasure hoard of books and scrolls. Inside, as you kind of walk in and deliver your loud kind of not so subtle delivery, you see that the shop's decorated with beautiful hardwoods. It's got an earthy scent of books permeating the air, and there's actually 2 floors of this 3-story building filled with a library. It somehow seems to contain more shelves than the building should be able to hold, based on sort of looking at it from the outside. There is a short... Now, it says here Sun Elf, but I've got him as a Dragonborn, a short gold Dragonborn, who sort of comes out at your at your comments and sort of slithers, shuffles over to you, and says, "Greetings, friends. My name is Rithal, the page turner. How may I help you today in my humble bookworm's treasure store?"
I ask him if he's willing to put on a mask.
Feel the spray.
He says, "I don't know what you mean, friend."
It's all conspiracy. It's all conspiracy anyway.
Not many masks will fit on this space. The real conspiracy is that the masked lords of Waterdeep are all not lizards.
Okay. Yeah, I'm like, so what was his name? I didn't quite catch it.
Rishal, the page turner.
Rishal, my good friend, do we have an opportunity for you? Look, we love your bookstore. It's great. In fact, we even love the area so much that we have just taken possession of a lovely tavern around the corner. And I was hoping in the to foster a sense of community around this little vibrant hub we've got going. I was wondering if you're interested in a fantastic opportunity to merchandise your wares beyond the extent of your front door by housing a few of your books on the shelves of our tavern as decoration, and we'll happily sell them on your behalf and pass 90% of those proceeds on to you. Of course, keeping a little bit of something to keep our meager shop afloat.
Rochelle says, interesting. And Sprig, can you give me a persuasion check, please?
For me, oh, that was. I
Yeah.
was just.
You were the one doing the talking.
Hey. Yeah, I know. Persuasion. I've got to remember how to do all this persuasion. Can I click persuasion? I think I'm doing it wrong.
Are you doing it in D&D
I
Beyond?
can't cast it. Yes, is that a problem?
So you just got to make sure that you've clicked the little red B in Foundry, and that in your other tab you've got D&D Beyond. So I think you just got to click the little red B to kind of activate it in Foundry first now, and then you should be able to roll from.
Where's the B in my browser or in
Foundry in the map?
Yeah,
in that browser
in the
near the chat box in the bottom right.
Chat box bottom right. I can see roll.
So it should be next to the roll. There's the drop down where it says public roll. There should be a little red B.
Hey.
So if you click that and then go back to D&D Beyond, I believe you should be able to
public roll. Okay. No, that's just roll dice. My apologies. 1 second. Sorry for holding you up. I can't see that. Is it because I haven't linked the two?
I don't think so.
Do I have a character engaged, or do I have? So I claimed the character, but I still can't cast or do anything with my character. Ooh, cast does like that.
Does anyone else see the red B that I'm talking about next to the public roll drop-down box?
Yes. Maybe it's because you don't have the at the. It looks like the same B from Beyond 20 extension.
Yeah.
I don't see it, so but I don't have the extension, so yeah.
It could be that then. But you should be able to roll a persuasion check from your character sheet in Foundry. So just double-click your token to open up your character sheet.
I just got to zoom in. Okay, it's different. Persuasion.
Skills, yeah.
It's a mighty that's a mighty 7.
It's yeah.
Rochelle seems somewhat distracted, maybe perhaps not paying attention to you, Hjarbinger, and Rochelle's looking at you, Heimdal, and I assume as part of your kind of backpack, you've got a lot of bits of paper, inkwells, things like that. You are a scribe gnome after all. Is that pretty evident by you?
That's my jam, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Rochelle, pretty much ignoring Sprig, says, "Oh, and another connoisseur of the written arts. Excuse me, friend, are you looking for any spells or perhaps scroll work?"
Well, yes, I am. I'm always in the field of interest of conjuration spells is my forte. What was it that you had? Were you after something in yourself? Yourself?
He says, "Well, part of my work here is I am obviously a guild-approved member of the Watchful Order of Magists and Protectors, and if you have a guild license, where you get a special discount on copying spells that we have available here into either your scroll work or your spell book."
Okay. Well, I probably don't need it because I'm a gifted scribe I can do it in half the time if you do it by time.
He shows you sort of a menu of spells that they have available.
Can I take them all? Oh wait, what's this down here? Big boy hand, cone of cold.
Bigby's hand, cone of cold,
Big-
modify memory.
He's reading what he wants to read, Dan.
The big boy hand.
The big.
Heimdal, the gnome needs that big boy hand.
Okay.
Well, he says to you, "Oh well, I'm afraid they're not free. It's part of
course.
you got to pay. Those are the prices. If you need some spells, Rasal's got you covered."
Okay, so I know some of these fluently. I might be interested in some later on. I'm just gonna quickly scribe them down using my snippet tool, which is done already. I come from the future. And so I guess, how do I become a member of the guild?
He says, I assume you ask him that.
Mm-hmm.
He says, well, the watchful order of Magists and Protectors is the Guild of Wizards and Sorcerers in the city of Waterdeep. It's Waterdeep's equivalent of a mage academy. We pretty much all spellcasters are advised to register with the guild and pay dues, but it gets you excellent discounts at establishments such as mine.
Okay, well, I could probably teach your guild a thing or two as well, but we're not going to go down that path just yet. The reason we came here is to improve the exposure of your business. And being that you are down the end of a dead-end street, and we have prime frontage on a corner store from multiple directions, we were coming with the opportunity to present your wares with our frontage.
Ah, yes, I think I heard your friend, but maybe his Waterdavian isn't very good, because he said that I'd only be getting 90%.
Well, do you expect us to make no cut from what from you using our location?
I'd be putting my valuable books in your hands. Perhaps we could come to an arrangement, but there might need to be some collateral. Some of these books are near priceless, you understand.
Well, I'm sure we can come to an arrangement. What happens if we split the middle and do 95%?
He says,
It's a compromise.
I'll tell you what, I'm happy to do 90%, but once a fortnight, I get to host a guild meeting, a guild moot, and we get run of the place for our wine and teas night.
As long as you pay bar price for everything if you want to have the house for a particular night, it can't be one of the busy ones. And this is on given the okay from my partners. If they agree with this and you are okay with doing on a off night, should I say, you can have a section of the bar to yourself. Of course.
So we get an invite to your wine and cheese nights.
Oh yeah, we will be there as staff.
Yeah, I would assume that you would be serving the wine and teas.
No, we want to. I don't know if you know this, but I'm a bit of a foodie, and I really want to be present. I want to discuss. I want to converse about wine and cheese. So I'm sorry, but it's a deal breaker. I need to be part of your wine and cheese club.
Well, it is for guild members. Perhaps I can put in a good word for you up in the Tower of the Order. And
Look, you're gonna need to make an exception, man. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
well,
Are they your terms, Monsieur Dragonborn?
I
I'm
think
bad with names.
well, it's Rathal.
Thank you.
And sorry, I'm afraid I may have didn't grab your name.
Heimdal is mine, and this is my entourage.
He says, "Well, do you have?" It says to Barnaby, "Do you have any magical ability, my friend? Because the wine and teas nights are strictly for mages."
Oh yeah, no, I've got magic coming out the wazoo. And I just asked him, have you ever seen a wazoo?
I'm loath to admit I have not seen a wazoo in my travels.
I point to my elbow and cast minor illusion and create cloaca looking type deal on my elbow and say, look, magic coming out of it.
He says, "Wow." Give me a performance check here on this. Excellent. He said,
God, your performance, man.
he says, "All right, if you're going to put on perhaps dinner and a show, I think this could work really well. And what we love most of all, obviously, is, I mean, it's got to be good cheese and better wine. And any kind of gossip you've got, oh, even better. The spicier the gossip, the better."
Got some juicy goss, and don't you worry about that. The juiciest. They call us the fancy lads, but they also call us the... Damn it, nothing came to me. Look, we like to gossip, okay?
Hang on.
It's fine.
This isn't about our show. We can, this is you. If you want to do a weekly thing, you can do a weekly thing at our place, and we'll reserve a location for you depending on the size. You can't have the whole place if it's just going to be two of you. But
oh no, it's a bunch of members of the guild. So, and look, let's call it once a month. We'll have our guild moot in your place. That should give you a bit of time to get it all furnished, get all the beers on tap, get the cheese ready, get the gossip.
Get on the beers.
Get on the beers. And look, if you're willing to put on a magical show like that, I'm sure we can make you maybe, if not an honorary member, perhaps you could be my guest for the night.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
Let's get him on our side.
Let's do it. Yeah, done.
Yep.
So
obviously, we'll need a sizable donation of books to just simply store and present from the walls, which will protect.
So Rashal gives you sort of that stacks up a couple of boxes of books. He's got sort of a ledger that he's written down, what's in them.
Yep.
He says, "Now these ones are purely non-magical. You understand? Magic is a little bit restricted in Waterdeep. You couldn't just let these get into anyone. You couldn't get, and he sort of points back to sort of his, books behind the counter, behind the velvet rope. These books you don't want just in anyone's hand. But these books here are good page turners, and I think they'll hopefully fly off the shelves. Not literally, of course, because they're not magical, but figuratively, they'll fly off the shelves.
Now, just out of curiosity, what sort of discount can we get on these spells if we're guild members, and the fact that we're hosting your honorary members guild nights?
He says, Rochelle says, well, rates are rates. A roll is a roll, and a toll is a toll. But if you're a guild member, half price. That's a bargain. That's a steal.
Okay. Well, we'll come back to that because I'm very curious about this modified memory one.
Oh, absolutely. Do you want me to tell you about that spell?
Please do.
All right, Dan's just going to look it up quick.
I feel like it could be very handy on some.
So he says, well, that spell's a bit of a doozy. Somewhat regulated. I mean, if you're not licensed, if you're not a guild member, you probably don't want to be caught going around modifying memories. But you cast it on one creature, and they've got to make a wisdom saving throw. Essentially, you charm the creature, and they're put into a bit of a stupor, becoming unaware of their surroundings. It can still hear you, and while it's in effect, you can affect the target's memory of an event that it experienced within the last 24 hours. That lasted no more than 10 minutes. So you can kind of reshape some of its memory of an event. And that way, when it recalls what happened, it'll think the thing you want it to think happened. So you can create a memory that, even though it wasn't real, they'll think it was.
Yeah. Excellent. I like that. That is very usable. Especially if these bones work out and he does know where it is.
Now, Rochelle says, now bear in mind that a modified memory doesn't actually change how they behave. You could say that they remember killing someone, but if they're a paladin or a watch member, they're probably not going to kill again. It doesn't really work like that. You're not changing their behavior. You're just making them think an event happened a certain way.
Okay. That's about the only one that I'm super keen on.
So on a meta level, I think also... while the charm lasts, you can affect the target memory of an event that it experienced within the last 24 hours and it lasted no more than 10 minutes. You can permanently eliminate all memory of the event, allow the target to recall the event with perfect clarity and exacting detail, change its memory of the details of the event, or create a memory of some other event. You must speak to the target to describe how its memories are affected. It must be able to understand your language for the memories to take root, and its mind will fill in any gaps or details of your description. You need to concentrate on it for a full minute to talk to it and
create
and do the thing.
Memory.
Yeah. An illogical modified memory, such as implanting a memory of how a creature enjoyed dousing itself in acid, will likely be dismissed, perhaps as a bad dream. Right? Unless, you somehow tie it together that they got healed in that 10-minute window.
Yeah.
A remove curse or greater restoration spell cast on the target restores the creature's true memory. Sure. And cast at higher levels, you can go back further. So not just in the first 24 hours, you can go up 7 days, 30 days, 1 year, or any time the creature's passed as you go
Yeah,
higher
what
in levels.
level is it?
Level 5.
That's modifier memory is a level 5 spell.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any cantrips there? Out of curiosity. Probably clairvoyance, maybe.
Let me pull up my little
Suggestion.
list. Well, I think they're in order, right? So the 25 silver ones are cantrips.
Yep.
Comprehend languages, detect magic. Oh no, they're all level 1 spells. 25 gold each. Da-da-da. What has he got?
So I couldn't even cast modify memory because I don't have a level 5 slot.
Correct.
Well, never mind then.
All right, let's move on and get out of here. Thank you
Yep.
very much for the deal there. Shall we just do a quick purchase of some suits and head to this opera?
Can we just like do something similar with the iron?
Maybe another time. Hey.
Yeah. We can
But is
definitely
it-
do it another time. It's taken a while, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind just like kind of breezing through it.
Right,
If that's a possibility.
It takes as long as it takes. There's no...
Okay, never mind. Yeah. Look, you know what? The day is running out. We need to find Mert
Sure.
at the fall of Tiamat.
All right. Okay. Let me... So you're making your way into the city to find clothes. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Let me pull up my handy dandy roll tables here. And so, what kind of clothes are you going for?
They say fancy
It's an
clothes.
opera.
Fancy clothes?
Yeah, it's an opera. So something with sequins.
Formal attire.
Formal black cloak. Do you
I'm going a tuxedo.
tuxedo, domino mask as
That's
well,
cool.
or
Yeah.
is it like?
Yeah.
No, but I wouldn't mind having a tail on the tux.
Yeah.
So I'm going the classic 3-piece with a French influence.
And Heimdal?
I was actually thinking about doing a major illusion.
Just illusoring the clothing.
Yeah, because like I'm fully rested and I'm probably not going to need to buy a wicked awesome suit and major illusion. Oh wait, it's only 10 minutes. Never mind. Okay, in that case, I'm gonna go. Oh, I'm gonna go like purple because like that's fairly magish oriented of me.
Mm-hmm.
Like a dark midnight purple. A couple of flares on the side. Really, really high spiked collar and an eyeshadow.
All right, excellent. Oh, eyeshadow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
You make your way through town and into sort of one of the nicer districts, the Castle District, where you start to see a lot of the nobles of Waterdeep. A lot of them have bodyguards wearing livery, sort of matching livery, and make your way into one of the tailors in there. Barnaby, you get... I assume you have to kind of buy off the rack because it's tonight, the opera.
No time for alterations either. We just got to hope that my perfect size is there.
Yeah. Barnaby the Everyman. The right size for every occasion. I think is what they call him, right?
Exactly right. Yeah.
So you're able to get your cloak with the tails. Let's see how much this would probably cost. It takes most of the afternoon, I think, to get all of these things. And random. Here we go. It's going to set you back probably about 80 gold to get some of that real nice. To get the 3 outfits.
No worries.
I'll put this one out.
Oh, you've got your own hoard, don't you?
I do have some, yeah. So I'll just take that out.
Awesome. Thank you, Heimdal.
No worries.
Thanks, Heimdal.
And you eventually get over your paranoia of us and Mara. I look forward to one day joining accounts, and we can be a true gold.
It's not necessarily about that. It's just, I like to have, what happens if I want to buy a gift for you and I don't want you to know about it, I don't want you to be able to.
I mean, you're allowed to have a Fantasy Bunnings credit card,
Yeah.
That's okay.
And, I don't have a lot of gold. It's just, something that I can splash out on things every now and then. Don't need to get your approval,
Fair enough, man.
I should
not like
I should
like
that
I'm
this
squirreling it away.
conversation takes place as you're getting like measured up and stuff.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It's just that, if we ever want to get a loan to, maybe upgrade the manor, they're going to be looking at these kind of things, So, but I get where you're coming from.
Oh, mate, you've got, my wage essentially goes into your bank account anyway. I just keep a little bit for myself so we can, buy some nice suits every now and then.
And thank you. That's kind of you. We can talk about this later.
Yeah.
I don't want to. We've only really just met Hjarbinger. So let's keep some things to ourselves.
That's an excellent point, actually. How is this dynamic with Hjarbinger over the last few days? And I didn't really describe your character, James. So
You didn't?
Not really. I think I described him very briefly, just because I wasn't sure about your kind of decisions. I think I went off the image, right? But
The script, yeah.
Very clearly during the cleaning montage, I made friends with him really well. So I'm trying to sow seeds of doubt in his mind over what's her name?
Mara.
Yeah. I'm like, don't trust this chick.
Righto.
So I am just for a bit of description to help the lads. So I am a druid that has been partially corrupted by the filth of the world. So I used to have, close ties to the earth and was protector of, the forest. But as the city of Waterdeep was built up, my spirit kind of got corrupted by the pollution that it sort of chucked out to a point where I was largely unrecognizable from what I used to be, and the chick took advantage of that and was able to capture me in the form of a toad. Is it toad?
Yep.
Toad. So my motivation is to really, I'm still partially corrupted, so I kind of need to continue to clean my soul of the bad deeds that I did whilst I was corrupted, and the bad deeds I did whilst I was under the control of what's her face. And so I'm this, so I'm a druid, I'm a humanoid, but you can see my ties to the earth in the garments that I typically wear, which are
browns and earthy tones.
Browns and earthy tones. I'm browns and earthy tones, and I have that's about it.
Oh,
excellent.
You're trying to make amends and depollute yourself.
Yeah, depollute the world whilst depolluting the world of bad wine and beer.
So you're basically Captain Planet.
Possibly.
You need to stop looting and polluting. It's not the
Looting and
way.
polluting,
Well, it's not the way.
Yeah. I'm okay. I could be. I'm okay with that. I could be
I'm gonna call you
Planet.
Cap.
Cap. Oh, I like that. That's a nickname. Yes. So we're dressed now. We're ready for some mad operators. And so I've sort of joined this group as I see that they can help me rid the world of bad beer and wine, as well as help expose me to the filth of this world, so I can cleanse it.
Nice. Well, Barnaby welcomes you. He finds your philosophy to be, charming, consistent with his own values. But mainly, he just recognizes that the group needs a third, and you'll do.
Does at any point does the topic of Han come up with Hjarbinger?
I guess we in conversation, in those incidental conversations, we're talking about we need a third. We had a bloke, but he kind of just disappeared into thin air when a little girl gave him a letter. Do not take any letters from any little girls. Okay.
Lesson learned.
So ridiculous. Where's my? Here we go. So you make your way through town to Lightsinger Theatre, sort of in the. Let's go back to Waterdeep. Here, the City of Splendor. Up in the Castle Ward, which is sort of awkward. We've got Han here. Let's knock him.
We found him.
We found him. Where are we? Hjarbinger. Here we go. I need to change that. So I've chosen this artwork, or you've chosen this artwork for Hjarbinger. Or at least that's the one that's pulled from D&D Beyond, I believe.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Display name.
Captain Planet.
Yeah.
Kind of look like I don't know why Pumbaa comes to mind when he's wearing the leaf skirt.
Oh yeah.
One request that Barnaby has is for you to wear a shirt.
Wear a shirt. No, I do the whole Jason Momoa thing with the suit and just rolled up sleeves, fucking a low cut singlet or white shirt underneath a black blazer. Oh, God, I hate that look, but no, I'm gonna go.
Yeah. So does Barnaby. You've lost credibility with him.
Yeah, no. I'll stick with the French influence 3-piece.
French influence 3-piece, but you're almost like busting out of it, right? They don't really find one that can fit your physique very well. Heimdal, you mentioned you've got sort of the purple robes, is it? Are you going for that very sort of traditional magician look?
Yep.
Excellent. And Barnaby, as you mentioned, the tails, opera cane, I assume. And did any of you get the little glasses on a stick, or is it more just it's just for my theater of the mind? I want to know. It's for little old ladies, I guess. So you step into the theater. It's this very high end establishment. You queue up somewhat as you're entering, and the tickets you've been given are just kind of it says in the gods. It says that you're seated in the gods.
Yep. So we go up top.
You go up top, and then you kind of get redirected around a little bit. The steps. So you're sort of up in the side. I think the gods are up in the sides, like right on the edge, almost like the cheapest tickets.
What?
Yeah.
Man, we spent 80 gold on these fucking tuxes.
But you're hobnobbing with the knobs. Everyone there is pretty well dressed, and you're able to, if you like, you can kind of mingle a little bit before the in the pre-show, or you can kind of make your way to your seats to make sure you don't miss the main show. Hold on, let me pull up
I'm
the.
fairly confident we all make our way to the bar.
Yeah, straight to the bar.
Yeah. Straight to the bar.
I go up to the bar and I say, 3 beers, please. And what do you guys want?
Yeah, exactly right.
3 shots.
I get 3 whiskeys. Yeah.
3 meads.
So you've got a couple of drinks. The drink prices are pretty steep. I think it's probably going to set you back another 5 gold. As
I'm gonna hand them my credit card and say start a tab.
Yeah, they don't. Do you have a Waterdeep credit line? Is that a thing?
Well, it wasn't a. The idea was that I'll just hand them anything and just go start a tab and then walk away with the beers, and it's just like a lolly wrapper.
Yeah. Okay. Well, give me. Actually, I just don't think that's going to fly in this establishment.
No, it's not gonna fly. It's like, wait, no. Yeah.
Eventually, there's sort of a.
Well,
We'll pay for the beers.
Yeah. There's sort of a bell that rings eventually.
I'm happy for him to do that and think he got away with it, and then I'll pay the 5 gold for the beer.
Yeah, it's very Keg. It's like reminiscent of traveling with Keg. Maybe a little bit of a flashback even. Cool. So you're able to do you do anything else? Do you do any mingling, or do you do that thing where you kind of just stick with your own?
We don't have.
Yeah, I'm happy to just kind of wait until the intermission to find Mert.
Absolutely.
Unless it's someone we recognize.
We observed some extraordinarily attractive half elves in the corner chittering to themselves, and we look at each other with the eye that, oh yeah, we could go talk to them, but even deep down, we really know that what's going to happen is that we're going to drink our beers, we're going to talk about it, and then it'll reach the end of the night, and they'll have disappeared with some, I don't know, bard that is like Tarnaby, and we'll just end up drinking ourselves into the ground like we do every time we go out. And then the alarm sings.
I mean, we're meant to be living in a fantasy world here. I don't...
Does Hjarbinger, is he, a ladies' man like the immortal bard? Is he?
Oh, he likes to think he is, but in reality, he never actually guffs up the courage to
till he found the immortal bard, of course, who has a plus 10 in charisma. So and persuasion. But we don't talk about that.
-1.
Yes, well, that's good. You don't want to be persuading them.
No.
So there's a bit of eyeing the nobility. There seems to be people here who a lot of them clearly know each other, are well connected. I'm not sure if you want to sort of eye off any of that kind of stuff, or whether you're mostly just focused. Heimdal, it sounded like you were just focused on, I'm just going to watch this, and I want to cut to the chase and speak to this Mert character.
Are there any people there that we recognize?
Give me a perception check.
Perception. You get that?
Yep. Your eyes are scanning around the room, and you see, dressed in sort of beautiful colors, is a gentleman that you remember seeing last in the Yawning Portal. He looks like this. He's got a lute, sort of.
Yeah.
Well, looks like a lute sort of
Barnaby's
strapped
friend.
over his back. This is not the luthier that was playing at the bar.
Yeah, right. Okay.
But you do.
There was the other guy. Yep.
Yeah, you do remember seeing him when the troll attacked, and behind him is a what's their name? Behind him is a very so he's dressed in sort of this beautiful green and blue livery. He's got this beautiful yellow sort of golden hair, but standing behind him is dressed in more muted colors. Seemingly his bodyguard for tonight. Possibly his date, but she's sort of standing behind him, eyeing off the crowd, and looking somewhat menacing.
Out of curiosity, does he resemble anything? Does he have like the family features of either of the two people that we like? So the Neverember or the other guy?
No. So whilst he does certainly have a regal kind of look about him, and looks like he's got that same sort of bearing and that same kind of holding, he does. This clearly looks to be some kind of elf, whereas the other two were human.
Okay, gotcha.
And his guard kind of stands out somewhat. The last time you saw her, she was getting the shit kicked out of her at the yawning portal.
Yeah, we actually we made friends. So
So what do you your eyes kind of scan the room, you see these two there. She's kind of standing there eyeing the room, sort of looking quite menacing in her she's wearing sort of a black tux herself, and whereas he's kind of making conversation with people, she's standing a step or two behind him and to the side, kind of just eyeing the room. Looks like she's kind of assessing for threats.
I alert those two presences to my boys, and I ask if they want to go over and talk.
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right.
Yep.
Well, so we make our way over and.
Excellent. And who do you approach?
I go for the orc chick because I've got a little bit of a connection with her. She told me where she would be. I forget where that was, but she's like, if you want, because we helped her out. She was in a fight.
Mm-hmm.
So I reckon we're going to be on good terms. The other person, I don't know. Before we get there, I kind of asked the boys if they are interested in chatting with the dude.
I look at James's character, whose name I keep forgetting. Why not
on his
Hjarbinger?
token?
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at Discord.
True.
Maybe we could change his name from Hun to Hjarbinger in Discord as well. That would just be mad.
Just help a lot. Yeah.
It really would. And I kind of ask him and let him know that he's safe. And say, do you want to talk to the dude, Hjarbinger? Is that what? It's totally cool if you do want to.
Harbing is completely engrossed in the upcoming opera and is looking forward to the show, but will follow the crowd if needs be.
Okay. Barnaby is going to actually say to Heimdal, you go on ahead, man, and he's going to scull his 3 whiskeys and go to the bar and get another 3. Try to get as many as he can in before the show starts.
Yeah. All right. So Barnaby heads to the bar. Harbinger's kind of made his way to his seat. The seat's a little bit small. Your knees kind of bump into the railing in front of you in these seats, but you do have a view from up top down onto the stage itself. and Heimdal, you approach this orc lady, and what do you say? Or how does it go?
So I completely approach from like her blind side, and then kind of bump into her from my back. I'm holding 3 shots, and I'm like, and as she turns to look who bumped into her, I'm like, oh shit. Fancy meeting you here.
Yeah, she turns and glares at you, and until you say fancy meeting you here, and
I'm like, oh sorry. I'm like totally apologetic that I knew what I was doing the whole time. I'm so sorry. And then I kind of pause, and there's that moment of recognition.
yeah, she says, "Hey, you're that gnome."
Gnome.
No,
You can call me
yeah,
Gnome.
right. What was your name?
Heimdal. I've forgotten yours too.
Yagra, Stonefist.
It's been a while. What brings you here?
She says, "Well,
Apart from obviously the opera, because no one's really here to see the opera. Let's be honest."
yeah." She says, "Well, I'm not really one for the arts normally, me."
Me, no one.
She kind of makes she looks over at Davil and says, "Well, I'm working."
Okay. Well, we're here to see Mert. Do you know who that is? Because I goddamn well don't.
You see Mert the
Yep.
Mert the Merciless.
Yep. That's the one.
Uh,
we got sent one of those
old
origami birds.
Mert the Merciless and the Old Wolf.
I look, honestly, if you would do me a boon and tell us who this is, you'd be doing a... By us, I mean my boys are over at the bar getting pissed, but I can relay this information. Point is, yeah, Mert is all I know. During the intermission, apparently we're a good bet in something that he wants to do. So we were sent this invite. Could you shine some light on this, because we are walking in blind?
She kind of leans in low, like leans in a bit to obviously make this conversation just between the two of you, and she's like, "Well, he's a bit of a mover and shaker. He used to be a bit of an adventurer. He's apparently retired. I haven't seen him dance. He's a bit portly, but they say he's still got some of those moves. There's a lot of rumors about the kind of craven debauchery he gets up to, and
what could he be after, out of curiosity?
I don't know. What would you have done to get his attention? Because this is a pretty swanky place, and I mean, are you some kind of noble? Were you doing a prince? Were you doing a prince? Wait, what's that? Were you doing a Princess Diary, pretending to be not a noble when we met in the tavern?
Yeah, totally. Like, what's it called? You're showing your true colors there, Dan. I've never seen the Princess Diary.
I thought it was Princess Bride, but that's the other movie. But no, I'm pretty sure Princess Diary, isn't that where she goes to pretend to be normal? Someone
don't know.
Yeah.
We've recently watched them. Lockdown's been crazy. I can give you a synopsis of the Princess Diary if you like, but I'll just let us continue.
So I'm wrong. It's not Princess Diary then,
though. She was a princess.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do this. So living in a small town in I think it was San Francisco. She was a regular girl who found out that she actually came from royal blood and then trained, to be a princess and given the full makeover. And lo and behold, she's beautiful under her frizzy hair and glasses. That's fucking unbelievable, isn't it?
She had a ponytail and overalls.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm thinking of obviously some other princess movie where she pretends to be normal. Shoot me. I've obviously watched my princess movies enough recently. Sorry, I interrupted Steve.
No, it's
I
okay.
digress.
I digress. I digress massively.
So essentially, we are not, me and my boys, we're not noble. We have done some pretty amazing things, as you've probably semi-witnessed. I suppose the major storyline of our being here is to do with, storyline being a legitimate term I use.
Yeah.
Is we're looking for and I quickly use my mind message over to Barnaby and say, what was that stone we're looking for?
Barnaby said, "Get out of my head, whoever you are. I'm not telling you nothing about the stoner galore."
Thank you so much, my man, my amigo. Enjoy the whiskeys. In fact, have one for me. And I say, we're looking for the stoner galore. Me and my compadres.
At that moment, the sun elf sort of has wrapped up his conversation with whoever he was talking to, and says, "Who is your friend? Lovely to meet you, lovely to meet you, sir. Davil Starsong at your service."
The pleasure is all mine.
And he says, Yagra, please get this gentleman and myself you drinking? You drink? Please tell me you drink.
I was actually talking with Yagra. Thank you.
My mistake. Yagra, please introduce me to this friend of yours. And she sort of looks at you and sort of appraisingly for a moment, and then says, "This is Heimdal. We met in the Yawning Portal the other day." And he says, "Well, any friend of Yagra's a friend of mine," and he waves down a waiter instead. And he says, "What? I haven't seen you around these parts before. What brings you to Waterdeep? You forgive me for saying, but it looks like you're not from this city."
Evidently, no. I am a far traveler, and I come to assist me and my friends who are over at the watering hole. Have come to meet Mert. I'll leave it at that. Pause.
Yeah, he says, "Mert, that old codger, that old has-been, that old washed up, Mert the moneylender, huh? Look, it's none of my business. None of my business. But look, if you're new in town, trying to make some connections, look, I won't speak ill of Mert. He has done some wonderful things in his time, but the times move on. You know what I mean?" And he sort of pulls out a small black card with sort of gold filigree, gold trim on it, and hands it to you and says, "Look, if whatever you're doing with Mert, whatever deals you're trying to make, if you want to see if you can get a better deal, come see me. Leave that card for me at the Yawning. I've got rooms at the Yawning Portal. You can leave a message with me there. Anything you need, I'm the guy that can put connections together in this city for you. But he's okay. He'll take care of you. But don't forget old Starsong. I think I'd hate for you to miss out on a lucrative opportunity, because Mert's kind of just focused on his drinking and whatnot these days. I don't think he's quite got the finger on the pulse, if you know what I mean. But look, I've taken up enough of your time. Obviously, you're here to see Yagra. Old friends catching up, I see. Look, Yagra, I'll be in the box. make sure you come in before the before the play starts. And he goes to shake your hand, Heimdal.
Oh, I graciously take his hand and shake it in return and give him a bit of a bow. And then watch him turn and leave.
Yeah, so he turns and leaves, and you...
I trail. My eyes trail on him for a moment. And then when I'm satisfied he's left, I turn to Yagra.
As he leaves and you're watching him go, you see that he's obviously noticed someone, and he yells out, Lord Paraffin! Ah, yes! And sort of you can see him being quite loud and boisterous, and goes over and finds someone else to talk to. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yagra...
And so I say, and that's who you're working for.
She says... She shrugs, and she says, it's a job. It's a living.
Look, I don't hold that against you in the slightest. And if I could assist you in any way, I would. As you know, because I have done so in the past. But as the moment is beginning, I do appreciate the moment that we've been able to share just now, so I'll leave you to it if I can be of assistance.
She says, so where are you staying in town then?
We've actually got our own place that we are starting up. I chuck my little messenger back to Barnaby and I'm like, what's our place called?
Untitled.
You buy me a beer or get out of my head, and don't let me ever see you at Troll Skull Manor.
Yeah, thank you. Troll Skull Manor. We've actually got a new establishment which has gone all hipster, a term you'll very shortly appreciate. Over near a really nice bookstore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We've got our own place. We're property owners.
Oh, so you're going to be spending some time in the city then? Well, maybe maybe if I get a day off, or a night off, I can swing by.
I would absolutely love that.
Take you around the city.
I flirt the shit out of her.
Maybe I could take you around the city, show you some of the good spots.
Yeah.
Some of the not so good spots.
Oh, gnome and an orc. That's something we actually, I feel as though we should put that on at the bar. Charge, I don't know, a gold per patron, and just have a real good time with
it. Is that our kind of? Am I getting the cues that we're happy to depart now? We've said that we'll meet up again. Yeah.
Yeah, I think she seems pretty chill. She seems pretty happy with the meet.
Don't want to extend it too long.
Yeah, she does say to you as she goes to leave and then kind of stops and goes, "Look, I wouldn't just go around talking to anyone about the Stone of Galore. Admitting to knowing about that could be dangerous in this city."
I understand that, and to be honest, I trust you more than anyone else in this entire room, and I don't know why. And one day we might find out.
She says, "Look, you shouldn't even trust me." And then she kind of opens up her jacket coat a bit, and you can see that she's just got knives, a whole bunch of fucking knives. And then she sort of buttons it back up and walks off. So it gives you sort of a pat, not a pat on the shoulder, but puts her hand on your shoulder a little bit. Does
it linger?
It lingers. It lingers a little bit as she walks off. As the sound, the chime sound that indicate that the play is about to start.
Oh, okay. So the as I'm leaving, the what's it called? My Toll the Dead, how I use music to vibrate.
Mm-hmm.
I do that as I leave. I do just my little cantrip, upper dress or upper.
She's wearing
I make a.
she's wearing like a pantsuit sort of thing.
Well, I make a.
She's wearing a tux.
As I leave and as she leaves, I make her vibrate in a.
God.
Are you trying to make the brown noise?
No, not a brown noise. Brown is not.
So I think he's trying to emulate a vibrator from a distance through
With-
clothing.
Using the Toll of the Dead spell, which I believe does psychic
Necrotic
damage.
damage.
Necrotic damage.
Necrotic. Yeah.
Necrotic damage.
Oh,
It's
Can only
more
end well.
to do with the
Nasty.
sound. It's
give
the
you an
sound.
STI before you've even touched it.
All right, so she's
So
gonna
it's
make
like-
she's gonna make a wisdom saving throw. Is that it? Is this?
No. You misunderstand. It's like it's just the vibrations. It's like how you get a little bit of a shiver.
Mhm.
Like it's not like Toll the Dead damage. It's
Yeah.
just a shiver.
Okay. Yeah. You're trying to send a chill up her spine, kind of thing.
Correct.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Lead with that next time.
Oh, right. Well, yeah. Okay.
When Heimdal in bed, all right, baby, if you fail this wisdom saving throw, you're going to have the worst orgasm you've ever had in your life.
All right, baby. All right.
Man.
Look, this is going to be the most you've ever felt, but I need to punch you in the face so you're injured. Give me an Arcana check to see how subtle you can be with this spell cast. How refined you can do this.
Yep. What check am I doing?
Arcana.
Refined.
Ooh,
Oh,
it's not.
10.
It's a 10.
Yeah, it's not great. Like it's you sort of build up the, you're like the Flash arm vibrating, ready to like dish out this magic, but it ends up being more like a slap on the ass than like a chill down the spine.
And you know what? As a warrior, I feel like she respects that.
Yeah. Give me.
She would. Okay,
Does she
so
respect-
I was trying to be subtle. She
Mhm.
clearly knows what happened.
Mhm.
I would assume.
She turns around like for a moment, glares at you.
And you know what? I kind of hold the 2 empty shot glasses and my one other one that I haven't drunk yet.
Yeah.
As like, I'm sorry, I was a little drunk.
She kind of raises an eyebrow and turns to leave. Give me an insight check.
Insight.
That's pretty good. You're good at insight. Yeah, you think she probably took it okay. She
Yeah, cool.
was probably alright by it.
All right.
Let's watch this
So,
show.
Yeah,
What's the
yeah.
show about? Describe to us the show.
Okay, so
I tell the guys what just happened so they're up to speed on, no metagaming.
how does that come across? Is this like, yeah? Do you come in to the booth? Obviously, Barnaby's a few drinks in. Sprig's like looking at the stage, waiting for the curtain to come up. What does Heimdal kind of coming into the booth to tell them about this look like?
So let me think. So they obviously know who I went over to talk to, and I simply come in and be like, "That is a done deal for later on."
Yeah.
Barnaby says, "Holy shit, you sound just like this voice that's been in my head all night."
Man, that was fucking me. And by the way, you've been a gem.
Cool. All right. So the lights go down, the torches start to go down, and out onto the stage starts walking a sort of maybe like a half giant or like a large Goliath that starts singing in Giant. Do any of you speak and understand Giant?
I think I do. No, I don't. Damn it.
So the rest, so those of you who don't speak Giant have to kind of read your the program to kind of try and get an understanding of what's happening. as the giant is singing, or sort of the large person is singing in giant, just setting the stage, describing the evil queen's defeat at the Well of Dragons, and goes in and tells the story of the cult of the dragon that stole treasure and wealth far and wide, and these heroes who kind of rose up to stop the cult and trailed after them, and there was love and sacrifice and loss, and at that part in the story where the group is on the trail of the cult. There's sort of this big kind of crescendo story, almost like a cliffhanger, and then there's the bowing, the light applause that they have at the opera, the little golf clap of people who don't really know what's going on but know that they're there for the art, and it goes into the intermission.
I've been waiting for that word.
What intermission?
Intermission?
Intermission.
Yeah. So we came here to meet Mert.
Mhm.
Oh, and yes, that's right. He said that
At the intermission, we meet Mert, and that triggers my mind. I'm like, oh shit! Just so you know, I met the Star Song guy, and he's apparently a pretty big deal. He's definitely acts like a pretty big deal. And he reckons he will outpay us whatever Mert wants us to do. He'll well and truly outpay us. So just keep that in mind when we meet Mert.
Meet Mert.
Meet Mert.
Meet Mert.
Okay. Yeah.
Meet Mert.
Felt cool to say.
So
Over to private box C.
Yeah, so you start making your way over to the private box. I just need to roll on my special magic DM cauldron table here. Okay. You make your way into the box, or you do. Well, you make your way to box C, and how do you knock? Do you open the door? What happens?
Does anyone have a way to sense anything through the door just in preemptively?
I could probably do a little something, but
We don't want to. We just. He's got Arcana.
I'm drunk and I burst through the door.
Nice.
goes to lean
like
on the cloth, and it's not actually a wall. It's like just a shade.
Yeah.
Fall through.
Nope. So as you sort of burst in, Barnaby, the door is unlocked, and this sort of box is quite large. It's sort of shrouded in shadow, and you obviously had made your way through the crowds that are going mostly to the bars and stuff like that. And as you sort of come in and step in, you see a couple of sort of large cushioned chairs there, but no one's sitting in them. And as you let me make a plus tech. Out of the shadow leaps a figure, dressed in black, black-skinned, white hair, and sinks a sword into your side, and you're going to take 7 damage, and we're going to roll initiative.
Oh, damn.
Hey,
What the fuck?
fuck this came out now.
Damn.
Oh, shit.
Fucking guy.
What a dick.
Absolute dick.
And the person who stabbed you says, pay your debts to Bregan the Earth.
To
I
Bregan.
don't even know who that is.
You got the wrong guy. Swear to God, Waterdeep is all about getting the wrong guy.
Have you got? Oh, you rolled a 3 on initiative. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So you got Barnaby on 16, Heimdal, etc., etc. Heimdal on 12. Okay, cool. So Barnaby, you're actually quite quick to act here, despite being caught off guard in this booth. We'll just use a rough approximation here of you two see in the shadows this sort of figure leap out of the shadows and stab Barnaby, whisper into his ear. But Barnaby, you are first to act here and are able to kind of respond.
Yeah, right. Okay. Was not expecting this at
So
all.
it's just one bloke.
Well, it's a bit dark in here, so it's hard to tell.
Unsure at the moment. Hey. Okay. Cool. What an absolute dick of a bloke. Rather than, I think, raise alarms and turn into a giant ape in quite a nice theatre, I'll return the favor and have a stab at him. I think. Rapier.
So that's a 17 to hit. That will definitely hit. Let's roll damage. Five piercing damage as you're able to kind of get the rapier free. It's not a prop like maybe most of these nobles. Yours is real steel, and you're able to sink it into this creature. It lets out sort of a small hiss and bares its teeth at you in the darkness. You can see that this is a drow.
A what?
A drow.
Wow. Okay.
So it looks like that.
Like a dark elf kind of deal?
Yeah, exactly that. Do you have any more attacks, or is that you just get one attack?
Get one attack, and I'll end it there.
Cool. All right. You hear a plink, or you maybe you even feel it. Let's see. We've got target Barnaby. You see sort of a crossbow quarrel, a small bolt fly past you and kind of bury itself in the lush carpet, and it has sort of been shot at you from the darkness.
Good.
Heimdal.
So I feel like I've got a few moments to converse with my boys here. So I ask them, should we try and dispose of this enemy or subdue him? What are your thoughts?
Barnaby is drunk and just been stabbed. He wants to kill this person.
Yeah, okay.
And also, we don't know how many are out there at the moment. It's too dark to know what the threat is.
All right. Well, I suppose he's been stabbed. This guy in front of us. Cool. So he's a little bit damaged.
Yeah.
I use my Toll of Dead.
All right. Though not heard out in the corridor over the sort of loud chattering of people in the intermission, drinking, laughing, guffawing, being seen and heard at the opera, a sort of toll goes out that is kind of like a butt slap, but maybe more so. I think we've established. He's got to make a wisdom saving throw. Is that right?
He does, yes. 16 or more.
Oh, it's not great.
Does that mean he takes double damage?
No.
So it's e.g., if I do this, does that count?
Is it 2d8 plus 1d12, or is it meant to be 2d12?
It should be 2d12.
Okay, we might need to fix that in Foundry. Let me just roll 2d12.
Yeah, okay.
9 damage.
Oh, really? I got an 8 and a 12. I got 20 damage.
Okay.
But that's okay.
Okay, I'll give you the 20 damage. Let me plus 9 here, and then minus 20. He does not look great. It is his turn, however. He tries to blend into... Oh, he's got his short sword, and he comes swinging at you again, Barnaby. A 10 misses. And a 19, or a 23, I should say, hits as you're slashed up for 5 damage. Sprig.
Bulbasaur uses Thorn Whip.
Nice. Ooh.
Did I do that right? No, that was damage. My apologies.
No, that works.
No. So it's an 8 to hit, which doesn't hit.
8 will not hit, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
So
It's not very effective.
The whip comes out, but this creature's able to sort of dodge out of the way. Nimbly.
It's too dark.
It's too dark in there. As we get to the top of the round, Barnaby.
Yeah, Barnaby's been hit twice by this piece of shit. He's not happy. If anything, I'd say he's pretty damn pissed off. He said he's not looking great. We've got Heimdal to go. All right, he's going to have another slash with the rapier.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to jump in.
Oh, that's a 1.
That badly misses.
Natty 1.
The
Two
old
natty
natty
ones.
That's what alcohol does to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a bit intoxicated, and he obviously that may as well have been a constitution check from the booze that he's had.
As you sort of rock a little bit to the side, having being a little bit drunk, you're going to take 9 piercing damage as a little crossbow quarrel hits you in the neck, and I'm going to get you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Guys, I might be in a bit of trouble here.
Yeah, okay.
You can see in the shadows is another drow that has kind of stepped out holding a hand crossbow. 16 for your Constitution saving throw means you are not poisoned.
I'm very pleased with that outcome.
Heimdal.
Okay, so this new person has made a interesting development.
And so Barnaby, I think, is kind of in the box, right? And you and Sprig are kind of just in the entrance way.
Okay, so I'm gonna go Maleficent. Melif's meteors.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep. The explosive thing.
Yep. Yeah. And I'm gonna target over here, so it doesn't hit Barnaby.
Where about? Oh, yeah. See?
Yep. And I'm gonna chuck 2 of them with my bonus action. At that point.
All right. So you
Dexterity saving throw for Mr. Dow.
Mr. Drow, dexterity.
That's fine.
They're awesome at that. Let's go.
Fuck.
So is that half damage or no damage?
It is half damage. Yep. And there's 2 of them. So that would be. Let's do the damage. Actually, I can do it from
Foundry. Couldn't be easier.
Yep. Spells. What the fuck? Was that me? Did I do that?
Yep.
I don't even know how I did that, but okay,
So
cool.
that's 2d6 it rolled, so that's 7 fire damage.
And so I need to do 1 more?
Yep. Let's do it again.
I swear to God I didn't do it. I did it in the other one and it just like played across. Here we go. Malice meteors. All right.
So the meteors sort of fly past Barnaby and this drow, exploding next to the curtain that is kind of blocking part of the view of the stage. It looks like Mert had pulled the curtains closed, or perhaps these drow had pulled the curtains closed to make a dark area. Your meteors kind of explode in flame, and despite the drow sort of jumping out of the way deftly, he's knocked by the explosion and sort of is singed and falls to the ground.
Takes him down?
Yep. He is
Cool.
unconscious, possibly dead.
All right. I'm going to get up in the grill on this person.
Cool. So you charge into the darkness.
Yeah.
At this drow. Sprig.
Oh. Is that so? Sprig's turn.
Yep.
Okay. He's going to run up to. We need to protect Barnaby, so I'm going to run here, and then use primal savagery, which means you channel primal magic to cause your teeth and fingernails to sharpen, ready to deliver a corrosive attack. Make a melee spell attack against one creature within 5 feet of you. All right, so I channel some primal savagery in my tux, and I grow some manky fingernails and just start swiping at. Oh, he's dead, isn't he? Is he dead? That's his skull. Yeah, at this bloke.
Yeah, the skull one is dead. Yep.
Yeah. Onto this.
The
guy
other
here.
one with the crossbow is very much alive.
Natty 1. That's the third natty 1.
Yeah, it's not great. So
I'm drunk as well.
you're this tux you're in is a little too tight for what you're used to. You can't get those full range of movements for that primal strike. Barnaby, you've seen this drow in front of you hit the ground, scorched. Actually, it's top of the round. So you see a gentleman walk in holding like a small tray of chocolates. And he looks like this.
Oh, very nice.
He's got the sort of the cutlass sheathed. He's got a tray of treats, and he's got the big long yellow cape big old mustache and the musketeer's kind of hat, and he sees this going on, and sort of drops his tray of sweets and says, "Assassins!" and draws his blade. But Barnaby, you get to act. Paul? You didn't turn the microwave, did you? Yeah.
Oh, damn, sorry. Yep, I turned to him and say, Mert, I assume, be with you in one moment. And I bend down, take out my dagger, and cut the head off Dow that is on the ground, turn to his mate hiding behind the curtains, and attempt to intimidate him to leave.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah, give me an intimidation check. It's probably your full action to like cut a head off, right? So, and hold it up. But you've seen Gronk do this plenty of times, I would assume. The old bag of skulls. Cool.
15 today. Not bad.
I see that as a 13.
Yep.
But this drow sort of sees that the odds are stacked against it, and kind of you see its eyes moving around the room, and it raises its crossbow at you, Barnaby, like through like Heimdal and Sprig, and sort of without firing, sort of almost does the mime of firing the crossbow, and then the drow, he smirks, and a globe, like a marble of blackness, fills the entire corridor, and or fills the entire box, and you feel the drow sort of start to make a getaway. Heimdal and Sprig, you're going to get a chance to make an attack of opportunity here, though it will be at disadvantage because you're in darkness.
I'm going to try and figure out how to make attacks. I don't think anyone's ever tried to run away from me.
Do you even have any weapons? Do you have any like physical weapons?
I do, yeah. Equipment. I got like a staff and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a wizard. I got a quarterstaff.
You can try and hit him with your quarterstaff? Or
And a staff.
Is it a quarterstaff or a buck and a quarterstaff?
I got a staff and a quarterstaff, but there's a weapon next to quarterstaff, so
sure.
I assume bludgeoning damage will wielding. I'm just going to click beyond 20. All right. Does a 3 hit?
No. It's a disadvantage as well. But a 3 will definitely not hit.
Well, I have to roll 1d20 to hit, right?
Well, you roll 2d20 and take the worst result. So
yeah, well, the 1 will do.
Yeah,
never mind.
Sprig?
Oh, no shit. It transfers across. Okay, cool.
So I've got dark vision, but it doesn't see through magical darkness.
This is a magical darkness that Han would be very familiar with.
Yeah. You can see through dim light. So, pardon me. I'm elite. Because he's right in front of me, is it still at disadvantage?
Yes, because you can't see him.
Okay. Pardon me. Sorry about that. I'm gonna send some. Use my staff of swarming insects on him.
Okay. No, you get one basic. You get like a melee attack as a. You don't get time to cast a spell. You get a reaction to do an opportunity attack, sort of like a freeze.
Oh, because he's running away.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's only a unarmed strike, or
your prime. I think your primal strike would work, right? Because that you've kind of buffed up your claws or whatever.
Yeah, but yep. But it goes away after I make my attack.
Oh.
After you make the attack, your teeth and fingernails return to normal. So
okay.
I just suppose I'll just go. Just try to punch it.
Yeah.
I've got no weapon.
You sort of lash out in the darkness.
22.
22 will hit. For 4 bludgeoning damage. Solid 4. As you feel sort of the drow brush past you in some way as you both lash out trying to hit it. Hjarbinger, you think you connect in some way. You feel your knuckles brush across some sort of leather armor, and you get a graze in there, but it's not massive. And you hear but don't see the curtains to the box, to the private booth, flutter as if someone has kind of leapt through them.
Mm-hmm. So, which curtains are you talking about?
So the front curtains.
Here?
The ones that look out onto the opera.
Okay. Cool. That's my turn, isn't it?
Well, that was its turn.
Oh, reaction. Its turn, yeah.
Yeah. So you hear sort of a click from Mert, and the darkness all of a sudden is gone in a moment. And Mert he has his sort of cutlass in one hand, and he has what looks to be almost like a small cigarette lighter, a medieval-ish cigarette lighter in the other hand, and it has sort of a small white light and seems to sort of dispel the darkness. And he says, looking at sort of the three of you, or first looking at you, Barnaby, he says, you must be the fancy lads.
I hear our reputation precedes us. I'm guessing you're Mert, and that this hole in my friend's side was meant for you.
He puts the cutlass away and says, "Well, I'm glad it didn't hit me. I've got more than enough to go around, but I don't need any more holes. Yes, I am Mert, and who might you be? I was expecting a tiefling."
How you expected to do? So I was like, I'm new to this company.
Well, my
friendship is true.
Perhaps my intelligence isn't as good as I thought. And you're Barnaby, and you're Heimdal. Yes, how are you enjoying the opera so far?
It's great until the stab.
Well, I mean, opera can be a little dull, can't it? Livens it up somewhat. What?
Do you have like a handkerchief or something for this blood that is profusely seeping out of my body?
He says, "Of course, of course," and he pulls out sort of a yellow handkerchief. On it is MTM, sort of emblazoned in the stitch on the side. He says, "Clean yourself up, lad. Get rid of this bloody drow. What? Says drow assassins can't get me. There's a dangerous city, as I'm sure you found out. But I'm glad you've come to see me. Let's get some drinks." And he turns and kind of rings a bell that's on a chain. And in a few moments, a servant arrives with a wheeled tray of all kinds of cocktails and little nibbles. He says, "Please join me. We've got." He says, "We've got some time before the show starts again. I thought perhaps we could talk business."
What business are we here for? Because all we've seen is my friend here be stabbed, but because of you.
Yeah.
He said, "Well, your reputation's procedure. The young lad Raynar says that you're good folk, and I owe a lot to his father. He's an up and coming lad. He's got a good head on his shoulders, and if he vouches for you, you must be a good sort."
Raynar's dad.
That's right. I knew Daggolt. Obviously, don't see him much these days. Don't get out to Neverember, but I keep an interest in the lad, and he spoke highly of you these last days when we caught up for bridge, and and I thought, well, perhaps I could reach out to these new upcomers in town.
And what is it you need?
Well, how would you like subtle employment? And he kind of gives a furtive look.
Take out a potion of greater healing, scull it, smash the bottle, walk up to him and hold it to his throat, and say, "Tell us where." What was his name? What was the dad's name?
Threatening the guy.
The Stone of Claw?
Dad.
What was Neverember's dad's name? Did he tell us?
He did.
I mean, I've told you multiple times through multiple characters.
And just then, assumably our character knows, so you repeat that name.
Yes.
Give me just like a basic... Give me a rapier attack roll here just to see how fast you move with this. I want to see if it compares to this guy's kind of speed.
Not too bad.
Um,
He's a big dude. He can't be faster than a 15.
Yeah, so despite his largesse, despite his prodigious girth, actually, he moves with
He is
incredible...
Professor Zoom.
He moves with a crazy amount of speed. He sort of slaps the hand with the bottle sort of out of his face, and kind of knocks you back a little bit, not hurting you in any way, but easily kind of you go for the throat, and he kind of easily parries it out of the way.
He also realizes it wasn't a kill shot, though.
Yeah, he kind of moves just enough to kind of make, so it's not threatening him, and is able to kind of knock it out, sort of almost karate chops your wrist. It's just so it moves out of the way and is not up against his throat by any means. And then he kind of he in the same action leans over the tray of food and sort of picks up a small little hors d'oeuvre, a small little bit of prosciutto off the and some pate, and sort of, what's the word, butter? Spreads some pate over like a biscuit and puts something together, and sort of munching on the biscuit with one hand and still holding sort of the serving knife in the other hand, sort of not threateningly points it at you, Barnaby, but kind of like motions with it, and he says, "Now, lad, put down the bottle before you get hurt."
I've already been hurt, thanks to you.
Well, have a drink, take some time off, and like gold.
I will have a drink on you. Yes, good. And I sit down at the bar and continue to drink.
He says, "Look, gold heals all wounds, and so do the priests and the priestesses. I have some subtle ear and eye work for you, gentlemen, and perhaps could, as you come well heralded from Raynar, I thought perhaps I could put you to work in this city, and we could find out what's been going on these last couple of weeks, as there seems to be a bit of bubbling happening under the surface of my city, and I want to get to the bottom of it. Feel like a couple of little birds such as yourself might be just the kind of assets we need.
So
It's like, what kind of, what can we expect in return for our eyes and ears?
He says, "What do you know of the Harpers?"
Harper's, I don't know. Not, I can't say I'm particularly familiar. Turn to the lads.
yeah,
the
no, I
Harpers?
give you the same response. I look between y'all.
Well, we're a group that likes to stay in the shadows a little bit and make sure that no one gets too powerful, but also that no one is too powerless. We like to keep kind of the status quo to a certain degree, as too much power leads to corruption. We play the political game, and we rise within it and do quite well for ourselves. But we're looking for people who can maintain secret identities, cultivate information networks, and manipulate others into doing what needs to be done. And from my reports, that you three, well, you two and this newcomer, perhaps could be the perfect fit for our organization.
I'm like, it's like, sounds a lot like my friend Bernard Sanders, but I must admit, I'm a little bit more of a blunt weapon than a cunning manipulatist.
As you can see from his cunning linguistic skills, yes.
He says, "Well, it does come. Not only does it pay well, assuming you're able to complete the jobs assigned to you, as you will receive this cool little silver pin of a harp. It's pretty exciting.
State your terms.
Now, of course, perhaps guild life or organization life is not for all three of you, but we do have options open, and I have a job, but I can only tell you the details if you're to whichever of you is accepting, or whomever of you is accepting of the role."
You have given us literally no information as to what we are required to do. So how would you expect us to accept if you don't tell us what it is?
Sure, no, that's fair. Look, you'll need to keep your eyes and ears open in the city. Report to me on anything interesting. I'll perhaps have some requests of you of that nature to just find information out. It's there shouldn't be any knife work. We're not assassins. We're not there. There won't be any killing. You may have to
There's
defend
already
just
been killing.
yes,
You
but
got
I
us
didn't.
here.
I didn't ask you to do that.
Well, you were the one who brought us here.
Look, and I'm grateful that you took a knife that was intended for me, and I have brought you to the opera so that we could discuss a potential mutual arrangement. But do not get it twisted. You'd be starting at the bottom of this organization and needing to work your way up.
Why would we need to work our way up with you?
Because we can take care of you. We can put you in
Can you
contact.
tell us where Neverember's father is?
Absolutely.
What do we need to do to get that information?
He sort of spears a grape and sort of chews on it thoughtfully. Well, I mean, you could read a paper. I'll give you this one for free. Dagult is currently the Lord of Neverwinter. He's been banished from this city. But if you're looking for information, then my network, you bring us information under our banner, under our organization. We take care of our own.
We've also got the other guy as an opportunity as well for information.
Friendship between our members is nigh unbreakable. We help each other in times of need, and our agents are all throughout the city.
Is this a gang, a guild, just a group of
nothing so
like-minded
official
citizens?
We keep ourselves off the books. We usually keep each group siloed in itself. You'd communicate with me. You could swing by my place anytime, and I'll have some different work for you. You know, just checking up on people of the city, keeping an ear out, perhaps even making your way into somewhere and just overhearing a conversation is the kind of things that we'd be looking for, and if you need gold or if you need to be paid in information or connections in the city, we can be very accommodating.
So let me say that let me confer with my compatriots.
Of course,
I pull them aside.
You have until the end of the intermission, because I do want to catch the end of this play.
Yeah.
You'll have to give us a little bit longer than that. We bargained because we got to get.
We don't.
Hatched.
We have the conversation quickly and make a decision. It's 10 o'clock. Do we want? What do we want to do?
Yeah. Do we want to join this guy and see if he can give us a hand, or because I like the fact that it's not formal, and it's so we're not going to piss anyone off by helping him because nobody's
like
going
the
to
White Lotus.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm happy to do it if it means we get the information we need.
So
it's very non-committal.
Yeah, I like the idea that we can find out, because the only thing he's going to do from here is tell us what he wants us to do, which means if we do that, we can then decide if we give that information to him or Starsong, depending on who we think is going to help more or help us more. Most likely, so this guy said he would be able to help us with locating Degarth or whatever the king is, but apparently
he said he could tell you that, but he told it to you. Yeah, he told you it's pretty common knowledge that Dagult Neverember is not in the city and has been banished from the city.
Yeah, but I'm sure that there's other information that we could get around that. That having a network of little
spies
birds,
and
exactly. I'm saying a very much a Varys character here.
How about we as it is 10 o'clock at night, we've been at it for 3 hours now. How about
we agree?
Well, I was going to say, how about I leave it to you to talk through it during the week, and that you can come back to him with your answer, or come back to me as the DM with your answer, because we can also say that, as the chimes start sounding for the play, he doesn't necessarily need an answer right now.
Yeah. Could I ask, just before we before we separate,
on a meta level, I'd like you to know I'd like you to know a lot of your options, but you're more than welcome to jump in.
I want to know what we actually want, because obviously
that's a good point.
We know that Deralt is another. What do we actually want? We want to know where his hoard is. So ultimately, our goal is to find out if Mert can tell us where the hoard is. Not necessarily where he is, but where the hoard is. So we need to reestablish our terms before we agree to the task.
Mm-hmm.
Is that fair?
Yeah, or we could ask the bones if choosing this faction will lead us to the.
Depends on how far we go. Does Mert know where the horde is? I'm just using the horde as an example, or as the overarching.
Yeah. So I think Paul's question is good because it gets immediate information out without just raising more questions than answers.
So you're asking that question of Mert, or is this a question you
bones.
guys have in the huddle that's like let's go consult the bones?
Let's ask the bones. Yeah. We throw down the bones.
Well, you're not going to throw down the bones here in his thing.
Why not?
So
Well,
yeah,
Is that
you
not how they
can.
work? Okay.
I mean, maybe you can, but the as I said, the chimes start chiming for the end of the intermission, and you're sort of standing there in his private box, huddled in the corner, throwing bones in the corner.
Hell yeah,
voodoo bones.
mate. He asked us here. All right.
Sure. So, all right, read to me the bones. What do the bones do?
Phone friend bones. You ask them. I believe it's just you ask them a question. James, are you sick, mate?
No. I took my hay fever medication. It goes right to the back of my throat.
Okay.
That's what happens when you swallow things. Yes.
Yes.
sitting at the
So
back of my throat.
we can ask it a question once today, and it a yes or no question.
Yep, gotcha. So a yes or no question, yes, no, or maybe question to the fates. There are 3 bones carved into people with happy faces and sad faces. All happy means yes, all sad means no. Anything in between means maybe.
Cool. We ask it. Will joining Mert's faction lead us swiftly to the horde, to the stone of galore, or the horde,
And the staff and the 5,000 dragoons.
And this.
Everything, basically everything that we seek.
I was laughing. It was actually 499 dragoons, so it says no.
So will joining the Harpers lead you swiftly to the vault? Is what? The Stone of Galore. You were saying.
Sure.
Is that what we're looking for?
Well, apparently the Stone of Galore is in the vault, which is with the stick of destiny.
Isn't that so? Why don't we just say would lead us to the Rod of Ruin in the set? I suppose we can't say the Rod of Ruin because there's 2 of them.
The bones.
There's 2 of them at the moment.
I think the bones know what we're talking about.
The bone. Yeah.
That's
okay.
not
So yeah, the bones aren't trying to trick you or anything, right? Like it's not like a genie wish. So there's 3 bones. One comes back. So you throw the 3 bones. One comes back with a smiley face. 2 come back with no faces.
All right. Good cliffhanger.
And we'll end it there.
Sure.
Yeah. Cool. That was fun.
That was good. Thank you so much, Dan.
I'm ready for bed.
No worries. Yeah. Thank you very much for staying up late. And hope you had fun. Hope it was a little bit different. I mean, there was a lot more role play, which was very change of pace. But
I love role play.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Heimdal got to make a lady friend.
Oh yeah, that's going to come back and pay in dividends, boys. You wait.
I hope so.
You wait for the story of the vibrating pants.
I must admit, it was weird listening to Dan and Steve literally flirt with each other.
It was pretty basic though. It was like subtext.
Yeah, Steve and I usually flirt way harder than that.
All right, guys.
Thanks,
have a good night. I'll catch you soon.
Sounds good.
Peace, boys.
Fancy lads.
Fancy lads. Thank you very much for joining us for our D&D Waterdeep Time Heist campaign. It's a little bit complicated, all the different timelines. It's essentially Waterdeep Dragon Heist with a couple of extra steps thrown in because these characters have already done Keep on the Shadowfell, we've done Thunderspire Labyrinth, and Pyramid of Shadows. Those just played with mates in the real, but obviously we've been playing online fortnightly this game since lockdown. So I hope you've been enjoying it. Yeah, Duff Muller, I'm sorry you've just caught it right at the end here, but you can go to our YouTube channel, which I'm just putting in chat now, where we have VODs and playlists of the 3 different games I run. So we're running a Waterdeep Dragon Heist game, which is tonight, and the next session will be a fortnight from now. In the off week of this, we have a Red Hand of Doom campaign that is sort of the other half of this group that got split up through the different time streams, and they're dealing with an orc invasion in the Elsia Vale. And then tomorrow night, if you come back, every week we're playing Lost Mines of Phandelver with the Tats and Tarasques team. I want to give a huge shout out to Tio Hart, Tees, and Min Clark, obviously donating their inspiration points in the chat to go towards the DM Pauldron. Once that gets tipped, we're going to roll on I'm going to roll on a big table and have a big old twist. Yeah, for those of you who stuck around this long, thank you very much again. You're incredibly valued. It's late night for me. I know it's early morning for some of you. And hopefully you'll catch us tomorrow night. Please hit follow and whatnot if that's a thing that you want to be interested in. If not, no dramas. Have a lovely evening and keep doing your good thing. All right, good night.